Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Karina, living Lean Six Sigma, where I live, breathe, do continuous improvement. And this is part 3 on my mini series of Powerplant using the 2020 test guide from the ASA. If you have any issues with the answers of these questions, please take that with the ASA. I am not sponsored. However, I am reading from the textbook. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I also have an Instagram, karina_6s. So, section, engine inspections. Question. A Cessna 180 aircraft has a Macaulay propeller model number 2 Alpha 34 Charlie 50-90 Alpha. The propeller is severely damaged in a ground accident, and this model propeller is not available for replacement. Which of the following should be used to find an improved alternative replacement? Answer. Aircraft Specification Type Certificate Datasheet. Type Cert. Question. Refer to Figure 1. Determine which portion of the Airworthiness Directive, AD, is applicable for model O-690 series engine serial number 5863-40 with a 283 hours time of service. Answer. B, Part 1. So within 25 hours time in service after the effective date of this airworthiness directive, and every 100 hours time in service thereafter for engines with more than 275 hours time in service on the effective date of this AD. So since this is over 275 hours and this engine's at 283, that's why it's Part B, or it's B Part 1. This one's a trick question because B Part 2 has something very similar, but it's talking about 300 hours time in service and then every 100 hours. So don't fall for that one. Question. Which of the following is used to monitor the mechanical integrity of the turbines as well as to check engine operation conditions of a turbine engine? Answer. Exhaust gas temperature. Note, because of this, the exhaust gas temperature, which gives us an indication of the turbine inlet temperature, allows us to monitor the mechanical integrity of the turbines as well as to check the operating conditions of the engine. Question. On a reciprocating engine aircraft using shrouded exhaust muffler system as a source for cabin heat, the exhaust system should be. Answer. Visually inspected for any indication of cracks, or an operational carbon monoxide detection test should be done. Question. True, false. Number 1. Is this true? Airworthiness directives are federal aviation regulations and must be complied with unless specific exemption is granted. 2. Airworthiness directives of an emergency nature may require immediate compliance upon receipt. Answer. Both are true. Question. Which of the following contains a minimum checklist for 100 hours inspection of engines? Answer. 14 CFR Part 43 Appendix D. This is the one that includes the annual 100-hour inspections. Question. When must the airworthiness directives be complied with after it becomes effective? Answer. As specified in the AD. Question. Which of the following contains a table that lists the engine to which a given propeller is adaptable? Answer. Propeller Type Cert Datasheet. Question. Which of the following components inspection is to be accomplished on a 100-hour inspection? Answer. Check cylinder compression. Note, this check is included in the 14 CFR Part 43 Appendix D, and that is required to be included on a 100-hour or annual inspection. Question. You are performing a 100-hour inspection on a R985-22 aircraft engine. What does the 985 indicate? Answer: the total piston displacement of the engine. Note, this engine is a radial engine and has a 985 cubic inch of piston displacement. The -22 is the model of this particular engine. Question: where would one find the type design information for an R1830-92 engine certificated under the CAR Civil Air Regulations and installed on a DC-3? Answer: the aircraft engine specifications. Question: straightening nitride crankshaft is? Answer: not recommended. Note, any attempt to straighten them will likely result in a rupture of the nitrided surface. Question: the breaking loose of small pieces of metal from coated surfaces, usually caused by defective plating or excessive loads, is called? Answer: flaking. Question: each power plant installed on an airplane with a standard airworthiness certificate must have been? Answer: type certified. Question: a severe condition of chafing or fretting is in which a transfer of metal from one part to another occurs is called? Answer: galling. Question: indentation on bearing races caused by high static loads, static means not moving, are known as? Answer: Brinelling. Question: when inspecting an aircraft reciprocating engine, what document is used to determine if the proper magnetos are installed? Answer: aircraft engine specification or type cert datasheet. Question: which of the following can be inspected and approved on an engine major repair for return to service? Answer: certificated mechanic with inspection authorization. Foot stomp with inspection authorization. Question: what publication is used for guidance to determine whether a power plant repair is major or minor? Answer: 14 CFR Part 43. Note, the FAR Part 43 is called Maintenance, Preventative Maintenance, Rebuilding, and Alterations List. In Appendix A, a number of maintenance operations and categorizes them as to whether they are major or minor. You should know this. This is very important. Foot stomp, foot stomp, foot stomp. Question: the airworthiness standard for the issue of type certificates for small airplanes with 9 or less passenger seats in the normal, utility, and acrobatic categories may be found in the 14 CFR 23. Question: which of the following contains approved data for performing a major repair to an aircraft engine? Answer: manufacturer's maintenance instructions when FAA approved. Question: what maintenance records are required following a major repair of an aircraft engine? Answer: entries in the engine maintenance record and FAA Form 337. Question: a ground incident that results in propeller sudden stoppage would require a crankshaft runout inspection. What publication would be used to obtain crankshaft runout tolerances? Answer: current manufacturer's maintenance instructions. Question: select the airworthiness directive applicability statement to which applies to an IVO-355 engine, serial number T as in Tango 8164, with 2,100 hours total time and 300 hours since rebuild. Answer: This applies to all IVO-355 engines, serial numbers T8000s through T8300s, having less than 2,400 hours total time. Note, this question looks like this question is a trick question, and it will try to ask you to select the range where it's T8000 to T8900, and it also tries to trick you by saying all serial numbers regardless of total number or since overhaul. Don't fall for it. This one is serial number 8000 through 8300 and having less than 2,400 hours total time. Question: what publication contains the mandatory replacement time for parts of a turbine engine? Answer: Engine Manufacturer's Service Instructions. Question: how is the flow range of the fuel discharge nozzles installed in a fuel-injected reciprocating engine indicated? Answer: by a letter stamped on the hex of the nozzle body. Next section, Engine Instrument Systems. Question: which unit most accurately indicates fuel consumptions of a reciprocating engine? Answer: fuel flow meter. Question: the fuel flow meter used with a continuous fuel injection system installed on an aircraft horizontally opposed reciprocating engine measures the fuel pressure drop across the... Answer: fuel nozzles. Question: the principal fault in the pressure type fuel flow meter indicating system installed on a horizontally opposed continuous flow fuel injected aircraft reciprocating engine is that a plugged fuel injection nozzle will cause a... Answer: higher than normal fuel flow indication. Question: motor-driven impellers and turbine fuel flow transmitters are designed to transmit data. Answer: using aircraft electrical system power. Note, it uses 150 volts AC electrical power from the aircraft system. Question: the fuel flow indicator rotor and needle for a motor impeller and turbine indicating system is driven by... Answer: an electrical signal. Question: on a twin-engine aircraft with fuel-injected reciprocating engines, one fuel flow indicator reads considerably higher than the other in all engine operating configurations. What is the probable cause of this indication? Answer: one or more fuel nozzles are clogged. Question: the fuel flow indicating system used with many fuel-injected opposed engine airplanes utilizes a measure of... Answer: fuel pressure. Question: in addition to fuel quantity, a computerized fuel system, CFS, with a totalizer indicator provides indication of how many of the following? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Answer: fuel time remaining at current power settings. Note, this CFS provides the pilot with fuel flow information in pounds per an hour or gallons per an hour. Gallons or pounds remaining, time remaining for flight at the current power setting. Oh, and gallons used from the initial engine startup. Question: the fuel flow indication system sent from motor-driven impellers and turbines and motorless type fuel flow transmitters is a measure of... Answer: fuel mass flow. Question: In an aircraft equipped with a pressure drop type fuel flow indicating system, if one of the injector nozzles becomes restricted, this would cause a decrease in fuel flow with, answer, an increased fuel flow indication on the gauge. Increased. Question. A manifold pressure gauge is designed to, answer, indicate absolute pressure in the intake manifold. Absolute pressure. Question. The purpose of an exhaust gas analyzer is to indicate, answer, fuel-air ratio being burned in the cylinders. Question. Which of the following types of electrical motors are commonly used in electric tachometers? Answer. Synchronous motors. Question. Where are the hot and cold junctions located in an engine cylinder temperature indicating system? Answer. The hot junction is located at the cylinder and the cold junction is located at the instrument. Note, a thermocouple has dissimilar metals and wires, form a loop. The 2 points at which the wires touch are called the junction. Question. Basically, the indicator of a tachometer system is responsive to change in, answer, frequency. Note, the pointer of a magnet drag tachometer is driven by the synchronous motor. It moves across an indicator dial to indicate the speed of the generator rotor. Question. Which statement is correct concerning a thermocouple type temperature indicating instrument systems? Answer. It requires no external power source. Question. Which statement is true regarding a thermocouple type cylinder head temperature measuring system? Answer. The voltage output of a thermocouple system is determined by the temperature difference between the two ends of the thermocouple. The two ends of the thermocouple. Question. What basic meter is used to indicate cylinder head temperature in most aircraft? Answer. Galvanometer. 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 Question. Which of the following is a primary engine instrument? Answer. Tachometer. 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 Question. A complete break in the line between the manifold pressure gauge and the induction system will be indicated by the gauge registering, answer, prevailing atmospheric pressure. Note, if the break is complete, the engine will have no effect on the instrument, and the manifold pressure gauge will indicate the prevailing atmospheric pressure at all the engine speeds. Question. Engine oil temperature gauges indicate the temperature of the oil, answer, entering the engine. Question. Why do helicopters require a minimum of 2 synchronous tachometer systems? Answer. One indicates engine RPM and the other main rotor RPM. Question. If the thermocouple leads were inadvertently crossed at installation, what would the cylinder temperature gauge pointer indicate? Answer. Moves off scale on the 0 side of the meter. Question. A common type of electrically operated oil temperature gauge utilizes, answer, either a Wheatstone bridge or a ratiometer circuit. Question. The indication on a thermocouple type cylinder head temperature indicator is produced by, answer, a current generated by the temperature difference, temperature difference between dissimilar metals, hot and cold junction. Question. True, false. Number 1. Powerplant instrument range markings show whether the current state of power plant operation is normal, acceptable for a limited time, or unauthorized. Number 2, power plant instrument range markings are based on installed engine operating limits, which may not exceed, but are not necessarily equal to, those limits shown on the engine type cert datasheet. Answer: both are true. Okay, well. Question: thermocouple leads. Answer: thermocouple leads are designed for a specific installation and may not be altered. Question: the thermocouple leads used to measure cylinder temperature on an aircraft reciprocating engine, answer, are connected to the electrical wiring on one end and the cylinder on the other end. Question: true or false? Number 1, is this true? Engine pressure ratio, EPR, is a ratio of the exhaust gas pressure to the engine inlet air pressure and indicates the thrust produced. Number 2, is this true? Engine pressure ratio, EPR, is a ratio of the exhaust gas pressure to the engine inlet air pressure and indicates volumetric efficiency. Answer: only number 1 is true. Number 2 is false. The EPR has nothing to do with indicating the volumetric efficiency of an engine. Question: what unit in a tachometer system sends information to the indicator? Answer: the 3-phase AC generator. Question: true or false? Number 1, is this true? Generally, when a turbine engine indicates high EGT for a particular EPR, when there is no significant damage, it means that the engine is out of trim. Number 2, is this true? Some turbine-powered aircraft use RPM as the primary indicator of thrust produced. Others use EPR as the primary indicator. Answer: both are true. Question: engine pressure ratio is determined by, answer, dividing turbine outlet total pressure by engine inlet total pressure. Question: turbine engine EGT thermocouples are constructed of, answer, chromel and alumel. Question: which of the following instrument discrepancies require replacement of the instrument? Answer. All right, there's a few in this answer. Okay, so we're talking about instrument discrepancies requiring replacement. Glass cracked, wheel not zero out, pointer loose on shaft, and fogged. These are the following that are not required. Red line missing from the instrument glass will not require replacement. Case paint chipping will not require replacement. Loose mounting screws will not require replacement. A leaking B-nut will not require replacement. Okay, a leaking B-nut. All right, question. A board-on tube instrument may be used to indicate, answer, pressure and temperature. A bulb is placed in the area where the temperature is to be measured. As the temperature changes, the pressure of the methyl chloride changes. Question: an indication of an unregulated power changes that result in continual drift of manifold pressure indication on a turbo supercharged aircraft engine is known as, answer, bootstrapping. Question: which of the following instrument conditions is acceptable and does not require immediate correction? Answer: case paint chipping. Question: a change in engine manifold pressure has a direct effect on the... Answer: mean effective cylinder pressure. Note, the average pressure is affected by both the manifold pressure, the pressure of the air as it enters the cylinder, and the compression ratio of the engine. Question: what instrument on a gas turbine engine should be monitored to minimize the possibility of a hot start? Answer: turbine inlet temperature, TIT. Note, turbine inlet temperature, TIT, or exhaust gas temperature, EGT, of a gas turbine engine is monitored to determine whether the start is normal or if it's a hot start. Question: in regard to using a turbine engine oil analysis program, which of the following is not true? Answer: generally, an accurate trend forecast may be made after an engine's first oil sample analysis. Question: on an aircraft turbine engine operating at a constant power, the application of an engine anti-ice will result in... Answer: noticeable shift in EPR. Question: engine pressure ratio, EPR, is the total pressure ratio between the... Answer: front of the compressor and at the rear of the turbine. Question: what would be the possible cause if a gas turbine engine has high exhaust gas temperature, high fuel flow, but low RPM at all engine power settings? Answer: turbine damage or loss of turbine efficiency. Question: what is the primary purpose of the tachometer on an axial compressor turbine engine? Answer: monitor engine RPM during starting and to indicate overspeed conditions. Question: the engine pressure ratio, EPR, indicator is a direct indication of... Answer: engine thrust being produced. Question: the exhaust gas temperature, EGT, indicator on a gas turbine engine provides a relative indication of the... Answer: turbine inlet temperature. Question: what instrument indicates the thrust of a gas turbine engine? Answer: engine pressure ratio indicator, EPR indicator. Question: in a turbine engine, where is the turbine discharge pressure indicator sensor located? Answer: immediately aft of the last turbine stage. Question: in what units are turbine engine tachometers calibrated? Answer: percent of engine RPM. Question: instruments that provide reading of low or negative pressure, such as manifold pressure gauges, are usually what type? Answer: diaphragm or bellows. Question: instruments that measure relatively high fluid pressures, such as oil pressure gauge, are usually what type? Answer: board-on tube. Question: the RPM indication of a synchronous AC motor tachometer is governed by the generator what? Answer: frequency, the generator frequency. Question: the EGT gauge used with reciprocating engines is primarily used to furnish temperature readings in order to... Answer: in order to obtain the best mixture setting for fuel efficiency. EGT, exhaust gas temperature. Question: a red triangle, a dot, or a diamond mark on an engine instrument face or glass indicates what? Answer: the maximum limit for high transients such as starting. Oh, buddy. All right, folks, thank you for watching part 3. I hope to see you in the next video, which is part 4, and that section will be engine fire protection systems. Thanks again for watching. I'm Karina, living Lean Six Sigma, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.